So for our chapter 4 in lecture, so we'll be discussing about different types of chemical reactions. So first we'll be discussing what is a collision theory, what are the general types of chemical reactions, what are the specific types of chemical reactions, and what is actually a balanced redox reactions. So what causes a reaction to take place? So it has something to do with a collision theory. It is a set of statements that give the conditions necessary for a chemical reaction to occur. When we say collision theory, it is a chemical reaction that occurs when particles collide or sa Tagalog, nagbubungguan or they hit each other. So, di ba we have what we call London dispersion? So, London dispersion happens only if there is a collision. And during that collision, there's a um, reaction that takes place, which is called chemical reaction. So, the collision between reactant particles is necessary but not sufficient for a reaction to take place. There are collisions that will lead to another product, but there are collisions that will produce no product. So, that's why we have different types of reactions. Okay, so one thing that you have to take note is that more molecules that are present in a system, the more collision will happen. Molecules must collide before they can react. Of course, syempre, bubugoy mo muna yung crush mo bago ka kiligan, diba? So, same with molecular collisions. Before a reaction takes place, or before a formation of a new product takes place, there should be collision between two reactants natin. Okay? But tandaan, low concentration of molecules will give us few collisions, but high concentration of molecules will give us also more collisions. Colliding particles must come together in the proper orientation unless the particles involved are single atoms or small symmetrical molecules. So again, I have said kanina, there are collisions that could lead to no reactions, but there are reactions that will lead to the formation of a new product. And you always have to remember in a chemical reaction, the particles that collide are called reactants. And the formation of a new firmly formed substance is called the products. To actually initiate a reaction, there should be high kinetic energy para ma-break yung bond ng bawat molecules natin. Colliding particles must possess a certain minimum total amount of energy, which is called the activation energy, if the collision is to be effective. Okay, for example here, this is your starting substances. Then, if you want to decompose it, pag-hiwalay-hiwalayin yung atoms ng molecules na yan, you need so much energy, which is called activation energy, to actually produce a certain product as well. And as chemical reaction also release energy during that reaction. Okay? So you have two types of energy during a reaction. One is activation energy. Second is the energy release by the reaction as well. Okay? That's why we have what we call endothermic and exothermic reactions. This was discussed in physical changes. So, in this two, activation energy is required to start a certain reaction. Basically, there are two types of changes that occur in a matter. One is a physical change, such as an example for this is melting of ice to liquid water. So when we say physical change, matter transform into a different physical state. When you say different physical state, solid to liquid, solid to gas, gas to solid, and so on. So, ang nangyayari during physical changes, yung physical state lang yung nababago, but not the composition of a matter. Well, for example, if you cut the paper into pieces, those pieces of papers are still paper kahit maliit man siya or malaki. So, paper pa din siya. And also, if you melt an ice into liquid, it's still an H2O. Another one of the changes are the chemical change. Matter changes its chemical identity from one compound to another, such as burning of wood would produce you carbon dioxide and water molecules. Meaning there is already a change in the composition, you cannot turn it back to its original form. Okay? Such as when you burn the wood, it cannot be turned back to wood after it becomes a carbon dioxide and a water molecule. Okay? Next. Okay, under the general types of chemical reactions, we have four general chemical reactions based on the structure of the chemical formula. So those are synthesis, decomposition, single displacement, and of course, double displacement. Okay, when we say synthesis or combination reaction, it occurs when the reactants combine to form a single product. The general form for this one will be like an addition. Okay, so you have the clue here, you have two or more reactants forming a product. Just like here's example, A plus B. So, itong A plus B natin, these are our reactants. Ilan yan? They are two reactants. But you only have a single product. Okay, so that is the clue for the synthesis or combination. You have two or more reactants, but you will only yield or produce a single product. So, a general example will be a sulfur, a solid sulfur, reacting with the molecular oxygen or the oxygen gas, forming a sulfur dioxide. Another example, you have two atoms of magnesium reacting with a molecular oxygen or the oxygen gas, forming now two molecules of magnesium oxide. Makita nyo, two reactants, ang final product mo ay isa lang. Okay, when you say synthesis, you combine the reactants. And of course, you have to check then kung ting reaction are balance. When you say balance, for example, here, sulfur oxygen. Sa reactant side versus product side, sa reactant side, isa lang yung sulfur, so 1. Sa product side, isa lang din ang sulfur, so 1. Dito sa reactant side, ang oxygen is 2. Sa ating product side, we also have 2. So therefore, sulfur, reactant, and product are equal. Oxygen in reactant and product are also equal. That is a balanced reaction. So this one is the opposite of a synthesis reaction. So you have one reactant yielding or decomposing, producing two or more products. So, kabaliktaran siya ng synthesis kanina. However, this can be done. You can only decompose a reactant into multiple products in the form of heat or electricity. So, tatandaan kapag decomposition, lagi meron niyang heat or electricity. Okay? So, for example here, a reactant will form multiple products. Okay? General example here is water. Okay? Di ba ang water, pag nag-apply ka ng heat sa water, which is H2O, it will form hydrogen gas and of course, oxygen gas. Okay? Di ba pag pinainit mo yung water, nagtuturn siya into a gas form. So, those are hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. Okay, another example is the potassium chlorate. So, if it decompose, nagbabay ka ng heat for this reactant or this compound, it will form a potassium chloride and of course oxygen gas. Okay, next is the single displacement reaction. Okay, when you say this single displacement reaction, it occurs when one of your element was replaced by another element. So there is a change in the position. For example, I have a reactant AB. So this is a compound. Ibig sabihin, dalawang element yon. So, compound AB, nag-react siya sa element C natin. So, it will become AC plus B. However, there is a rule here in single displacement. Metal can only replace a metal. A non-metal can only be replaced by a non-metal. Tatandaan ha. For example, dito, we have silver nitrate plus a zinc. Nag-react silang dalawa. So, here, we have silver as a metal. Nitrogen and oxygen are both non-metal. Zinc is a metal. So basically, it will be a replacement between metal to a metal. So zinc will replace the metal silver. So it will become zinc nitrate. And of course, the other product, yung na-replace natin, which is the silver. However, there are rules in replacing. One of the specific rule in replacing metal to metal, non-metal to non-metal with a single displacement method is that a lower reactive element can only be replaced by a higher reactive element. But not vice versa. Ibig sabihin, higher reactive element mo, hindi siya pwedeng palitan ng lower reactive. So, dapat yung lower reactive, ang papalit sa kanya ay higher reactive. Okay, as you can see here, lithium is the most reactive in the metal activity series. And the least reactive is the gold. Least reactive, most reactive. In halogens naman, or non-metals, the most reactive is chlorine. The least reactive is iodine. So, under the metals, hydrogen is actually included. Tatandaan din yan. Okay? So, this one, di naman kailangang kabisaduhin. We will give you the table for this kapag nag-quiz or midterm exam tayo. Okay, what happens? That's actually right. As you can see dito sa example natin, we have magnesium as the single one. We also have hydrochloric acid. Nag-react sila. Ang compound natin is the hydrochloric acid. So, one of its element will be replaced by the single element. Okay, as you can see, magnesium is a metal. Hydrogen is on the activity series of a metal, and chlorine is a non-metal. So basically, the replacement will happen between the hydrogen and the magnesium. The question is, can hydrogen be replaced by magnesium? Kaya ba ni magnesium mag-replace kay hydrogen? Tatandaan ha, lower reactive metal can only be replaced by higher. Okay? Check natin kung si magnesium ba ay higher or lower. As you can see, hydrogen versus magnesium, mas mataas si magnesium. So, therefore, higher siya, si hydrogen ay lower. Okay? So, tama siya. So, hydrogen is lower, magnesium is higher. So as you can see, ang papalit si magnesium mas higher siya. It can be switch position. Okay? So therefore, lower can only be replaced by higher, which is magnesium. That's why it now becomes magnesium chloride plus hydrogen gas. Okay, so now how do we form a product? Actually, the usual technique will be a criss-cross method. Okay, for example, I have 2 HCl and 1 magnesium. Okay, so meaning in HCl, since it is a coefficient, all of your elements have the same number of atoms. So H has 2 atoms, chlorine also has 2 atoms, while as magnesium only have 1 atom. Then there is a switch kasi nga si H ay lower, si magnesium ay higher, kayang palitan ni magnesium si hydrogen. So therefore, magsiswitch na position. So what will happen now will be a criss-cross method. Okay, so what is your other product? Mg1Cl2 plus H2. Pwede itong isulat as MgCl2 plus H2. Now, this is now your final product. Okay? What if baliktad naman? We have hydrogen gas reacting with magnesium chloride. What will happen? As you can see here, hydrogen, the one who is trying to replace the magnesium, is much lower. So, magnesium versus hydrogen. Kaya ba ni hydrogen? Magnesium is higher reactive. Hydrogen is lower reactive. Hindi niya kayang palitan. It does not have any power to switch position with your compound. So, what will happen to the product? So, there is no reaction. Nothing will happen to the reaction. So, this reaction is not possible because the element H2 or hydrogen gas is less reactive than magnesium. Another example, let's actually try naman pag non-metals. This is bromine gas reacting with potassium iodide. So, Br is non-metal, potassium is metal, iodine is non-metal. They both have non-metal, so the change in position will be non-metal to non-metal. Let's try. So, I versus Br. So, I versus Br. Kaya ba ni Br to replace the iodine? So, iodine is the least reactive, pinakamababa. Bromine is more reactive than hydrogen. So, therefore, yes, si bromine ang gustong pumalit, higher reactive siya than the iodine. It can be switch position. Pwedeng pumalit. So, let's try to have a product. So, this is 2 molecules. This is a coefficient. When it is a number beside a compound, it means all of your elements in that compound have the same number of atoms, such as 2, potassium has 2 atoms, iodine also have 2 atoms. So, 2Ki, so meaning K2I2. Then, of course, your bromine. Since that is a non-metal, you have to position it also under the non-metal. Okay? Ma'am, bakit ito nauna, this one? Kasi metal to metal. So, you have to position them lateral with metal to metal. This one naman, non-metal to non-metal. Okay? Then, you have the criss-cross method. So, this is K2Br2. Since they have the same number of atoms, pareho lang naman sila 2, you can use this number to become a coefficient. So, it will become 2KBr. Kasi dalawang K, dalawang BR, same lang din naman yan. And one of your product is an I2 or iodine gas. So, now this is your final product. So, what will happen if naman si iodine ang gustong pumalit kay bromine? So, here, bromine ang nasa compound versus iodine. bromine is higher, iodine is basically a lower, the least reactive among the non-metal. So therefore, iodine cannot replace your bromine. So therefore, there will be no reaction. Okay? Tatandaan lang dito sa single displacement that a lower element can only be replaced with a higher element, but not vice versa. Okay? So this exercises for you to do at home to practice. Okay, now let's go to the last reactions, general type of inorganic reactions, which are double displacement. Occurs when the elements switch pairs forming new compound. Okay? So nagkakapalit pareho. So this will be more likely both of your reactions are a compound. Okay, same rule then, metal to metal, change in position, non-metal to non-metal, change in position. Kagaya nito, ang partner is AB, then CD. So, magpapalit lang sila ng position. So, if your A is a metal, C is a metal, palit sila ng position. So A, B, plus C, D, A to C, papalit ng position yan. So, magiging C, B, plus A, D. Ganyan lang po, kasimple. Okay, let's check this one. Para hindi kayo malito, pili lang kayo kung metal to metal or non-metal to non-metal. Okay? So, this one is sodium sulfide. Mag-react siya with hydrochloric acid. So, let's actually try. Na2S plus 2HCl. So, this one, okay, this is metal, this is non-metal, this is metal, this is non-metal. Okay? So, basically, yung magpapalit is sodium to hydrogen. So, change in position sila. So, pinakamadaling paraan also is the crisscross method na ginagawa ko. Na2S, so magiging Na2. Yung 2 ay kay sodium lang ha, kasi naka-subscript, nakababa. Ibig sabihin, atom lang siya ni sodium. While sulfur ay isa lang. Next, hydrogen, may 2 coefficient siya. Ibig sabihin, dalawang hydrogen, dalawang Cl2. Okay? So, ginagawa ko is usually crisscross method. Okay? So, when writing, nauna lagi yung metal, which is metal, metal, non-metal, non-metal. So, kapag sinulat mo siya, Na2Cl2 plus H2S. So, basically, pwede siyang isulat na H2S. Since dalawa naman si sodium, dalawa rin si chlorine, pwede na siya maging coefficient na lang. So, plus 2NaCl. Now, this is our product. Okay? Same as well with the latter, with the last one. Sige, bubrain ko muna. Barium is metal, chlorine is non-metal, sodium is metal, sulfate, SO4 is non-metal. Sulfur and oxygen is a non-metal. Okay, BaCl2, it will become BaNCl2. Next, Na2SO4, it will now become Na2, then of course SO4. Then, criss-cross tayo. Okay. BaSO4. Then, of course, Na2Cl2. Pwede itong isulat as 2NaCl, now the barium sulfate. Okay, now this is our product. This is one of the techniques lang ha in writing this is one of the technique in forming products. There are also other techniques such as using atoms to charge, then i-criss-cross siya, then ibabalik ulit sa charge yung atom. So, may ganong way din naman. So, this is more like a shortcut technique. Okay? Now, let's go to different specific types of chemical reactions. We'll most likely discuss combustion reaction, precipitation reaction, the acid-base, and of course, the redox reactions. Usually, precipitation and redox reactions ay nakikita sa biochem. Most of the reactions actually in MATAB is a redox reactions. Most of the qualitative analysis in biomolecules are precipitation reaction also. Okay? So, first one is combustion reaction that occurs when an organic compound, substances containing the CHO, the carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, burns in air or oxygen, producing water vapor and carbon dioxide. Okay, the technique here to identify if it is a combustion reaction is that one of your reactant is a CHO or a CH. Reactant the CHO or rather the CH, and lagi siyang nag-react with a molecular oxygen or the oxygen gas. Okay? So, pag yan nakita mo pa lang sa, if you see sa test, meron siyang CHO, nag-react sa oxygen gas, it might probably a combustion reaction. And of course, its product is always a carbon dioxide, pwede din carbon monoxide actually, and in water. So, pag nakita mo na complete reaction niya, CHO or CH, nag-react sa molecular oxygen at ang product niya ay carbon dioxide and water or carbon monoxide and water, it is a combustion reaction. However, in combustion, there are two types ng combustion reaction. One of the reaction is actually a complete combustion. So this is an example of a complete combustion. What is the idea that it has a product carbon dioxide. When you say complete combustion, you have enough oxygen to burn the CHO or the CH. Kagaya sa Bunsen burner. When we use Bunsen burner, you should always use blue flame. To get a blue flame, you have to make sure na yung butas o hole dito is open. Why? To let the air flow inside doon sa Bunsen burner. Again, the idea, if there's enough oxygen that will burn the CH or the CH, it will have a complete combustion. Okay? So, basically, your product is always carbon dioxide and water. So, one of the idea also na complete combustion siya is that blue flame and white smoke. What if naman if incomplete combustion? If it is incomplete combustion, one of its product is not a carbon dioxide. It is actually a carbon monoxide. Sometimes carbon lang or tinatawag na soot. Okay? Ano yung physical manifestation na incomplete combustion? Yung sa tambucho, ang tawag doon sa English, yung binubugan na smoke na mga jeeps are usually black. Okay? So, one of the physical manifestation na incomplete combustion is the black smoke. And also, yellow flame. So, kapag nag-Bunsen burner tayo, diba, sabi ko, it should be blue flame. A Bunsen burner can give you a yellow flame if yung hole niya is closed or sarado. Why? Because there is no enough oxygen um, to burn with your CHO or CH compounds. So aside from that, there is also a manifestation of the carbon. So kapag carbon ang lumabas na product, which is soot, ito yung parang kapag nagluto sa bahay, yung mga kitchenwares nyo, yung kawalet, for example, it has a black soot, uling. Parang uling ganon. So that is an example of an incomplete combustion. So reactions in aqueous solutions, most ionic compounds are soluble in water. That means the ionic species from a compound separates from each other. This is called as dissociation and ionization process. This will only happen if your ionic compounds are dissolved in a water. So they can easily be separated, ionize, or dissociate into ions. Okay, so ionic compounds can be easily dissociate, ionize, or separated into ions. Okay, kagaya ng NaCl. NaCl, paano sila nahiwalay into ions? How it becomes ions is, di ba, ang atom ni sodium may isa, chlorine is 1, so we'll have to do atoms to charge. Atoms to charge. So, 1, bigay kay chlorine, 1, bigay kay sodium. Sodium is metal. Metals are always positive, including hydrogen. Chlorine is non-metal. Non-metal are always negative. So, therefore, Na positive 1 plus chlorine negative 1. Okay, when you mix different aqueous solutions of different substances, chemical reactions may or may not take place, such as mixing salt and vinegar with making condiments do not produce any chemical reactions, which is actually public. So when will a reaction takes place in a aqueous solutions? There are different aqueous solution that may produce chemical reactions if only 1. There are ions that can combine to form insoluble substances. Ang tawag doon ay precipitation reaction. So there are also ions that can neutralize each other. So it has something to do with the pH, such as the acid-base reaction. And the species can transfer electrons. But there is already a transfer of electrons. It is now called a redox reaction. So now we will focus first on the precipitation reaction, where when you combine ions, they can form insoluble substances. Okay, so this is an example of a precipitation reaction. So this will only occurs when the present ions in a solution pairs to form insoluble compound known as the precipitate. Okay, may be solid or colloidal in the form. When you say precipitate, para siyang namumuo, kung sa Tagalog, parang namumuong compound. Magnesium sulfate reacting with sodium hydroxide is an example of a precipitate reaction, which is magnesium hydroxide is the insoluble compound. How? Okay, so this is the rules for solubility when combining ions. So, these are the list of the usually soluble. These are the list of the usually insoluble. So, in order to predict whether the reaction will produce precipitate, you must remember the solubility rules. Again, you don't need to memorize the table. We will give this table during quiz or during exam. The target here is to check which of the products are considered insoluble substances. Okay, let's actually try to form a product. Okay, so let's actually try to dissociate magnesium sulfate and the sodium hydroxide. One of my techniques here is to get the group number para madali. For example, in sodium hydroxide, sodium is group number 1. Metal siya. Group number 1, metal. Sa periodic table. So, its charge should be positive 1. Okay? So, its counterpart, NaOH. Na is group number 1, metal. So, it should be positive 1. Then, the whole NaOH is actually equal to 0. So, makikita mo yung NaOH, wala naman nakasulat ng charge, diba? So, meaning 0. So, mag-isip ka ng number that will be equal to, pag inad sa positive 1, will be equal to 0. So, since OH is non-metal, diba, non-metal siya, it is always negative. So, positive 1, para may plus, positive 1, so the number that could be added to positive 1 to become it 0, it should be negative 1. So, therefore, ang charge ng Na plus ng Ne ay positive 1, ang charge ng OH ay negative 1. Now, let's go to magnesium sulfate. MgSO4. Magnesium is metal. It's always positive. At ang group number niya in periodic table is positive, is group number 2. So, therefore, its charge is positive 2. So, sulfur and oxygen are non-metal. So, therefore, its charge should be negative. And as you can see, wala naman makikitang charge yan. So, therefore, equals 0. So, a number that should be added to positive 2 to become a 0, it is negative 2. Okay? That's why ang charge ng magnesium may positive 2. Ang charge ng sulfate ay negative 2 also. So, now you have to dissociate all of the ions. So, magnesium 2 plus, sulfate, sodium positive 1, and the hydroxide ion. Okay? Now, what should we do? We will have to check which of the combination could have a precipitate. Check natin si magnesium first. Okay, so what should we do? So this now becomes a double displacement. Precipitation is a type of a double displacement. So therefore, we should do a crisscross method. So Mg2 positive, SO42 negative. Tapos, yung katapat niya ay dapat element, metal to metal, and yung hydroxide, which is OH. Okay. So, di ba tama? MgSO4 to kanina, kasi ito ay NaOH. Now, we do crisscross method. So, yung first will be Mg2 plus, tapos hydroxide. Tapos, yung isa ay Na positive, tapos SO42 negative. Pag ginawan mo siya ng product, it should be a charge to atom. So, yung 2 niya, bibigay kay OH, kaya OH2. Yung 1 ni OH, bigay kay magnesium, kaya magnesium hydroxide. Tapos yung isa, yung 1 ni sodium, bigay kay SO4. Tapos yung 2 ni sulfate, ibigay kay sodium. So, Na2SO4. Okay. Now, let's actually try to find which of the two products is a precipitate. Check natin ang Na2SO4 muna. It has a sodium, is this. Sodium is soluble, so sol. Next, let's find sulfates. Sulfates are also soluble. So, the whole sodium sulfate is a soluble compound. Next, let's check magnesium. Magnesium, wala rito. Wala rin si magnesium dito. Wala rin si magnesium. Wala rin to. Wala dito. So, magnesium, wala sa rules. Wala rin dito. Wala dito. Wala dito. Wala dito. However, it's another partner which is hydroxide is under the category of insoluble. So, i-check po natin. This is under the category of insoluble. Pero check natin if it is truly insoluble. Remember, magnesium is group number 2. At si hydroxide ay may exception. Nagiging soluble si hydroxide. Again, nagiging soluble si hydroxide if ang kapartner niya is ammonium. Lahat ng group number 1A, metals, strontium, barium, at calcium. So, nasa exception ba siya? Wala. Kasi group number 2 si magnesium. Therefore, magnesium hydroxide is considered as insoluble compound. So, this is what you call precipitate. So, since magnesium and hydroxide can form precipitate, which is magnesium hydroxide, and sodium and sulfate did not participate in the precipitation because they are soluble compounds. They are called spectator ions. Okay. Tatandaan yung ions na hindi nag-form ng precipitate or hindi siya insoluble compound, those are called spectator ions. So, sino ba yung soluble natin kanina? Si sodium sulfate. So, therefore, ang spectator ions mo ay sodium and, of course, the sulfate ions. Okay? In summary, this is your precipitate and this is your soluble compound. And this is your spectator ions. Yun lang yung mga parts ng precipitation reaction. Okay, so this one, I'll try to do an A2SO4 and BaCl2 as an example. Then the rest, kayo na bahala. The first thing that you have to do is to form products. Products muna. So, kagaya nito, Na2SO4 tapos BaCl2. Gawa muna tayo ng products via criss-cross method. So, you have Na2, then SO4, Ba, then of course the Cl2. Then you have to do criss-cross methods, which is the BaSO4 plus Na2Cl2, which is also 2NaCl. So our product will be sodium chloride and BaSO4. So if we're going to check the two compounds that we form, first one is the sodium chloride. Check natin. Sodium is under the soluble. And chlorine is also under the soluble. So, the whole compound is soluble. Basically, the sodium and the chlorine are called spectator ions because they do not form precipitate. Now, let's go with the barium sulfate. Yes, sulfate is also soluble. However, there are exceptions. Na si sulfate can become insoluble if it has a calcium, if it has a strontium, if it has a barium, or it has a lead sulfate. So, therefore, barium here is under the exemption of sulfate na si sulfate ay nagiging insoluble kapag meron siyang kapartner na barium. So, therefore, si barium sulfate is considered as insoluble. Therefore, this will be your precipitate. Acid are substances whose action is a proton or hydrogen. Another term for H plus is a proton. Bases are substances whose anion is actually hydroxide or the OH negative. So, when hydrogen and OH combine, it becomes water, and that is called neutralization reaction. Why? Because an acid plus a base, it will always form a salt and water. So, these products na salt and water ay galing sa isang neutralization reaction. Water and salt will only form if one is an acid and the other reactant is a base. Okay, let's have an example here, which is hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide. So if you're going to separate them, HCl is H positive and chlorine negative. So sodium hydroxide, sodium positive and hydroxide ion. So, gagawin lang dyan would be the crisscross method. So, NOH will be H2O, Na, and the Cl would be the, what you call, azole. So, to identify which of the reactant is an acid, kung sino yung merong hydrogen. So, this is your acid. Kung sino may hydroxide will be your base. So, ang tawag dito is neutralization process. Okay, last of the reaction under inorganic is the oxidation reduction, or what we call redox reactions. So, this type of reaction involves transfer of electrons between two species. In oxidation reduction, or redox reaction, two reactions are happening simultaneously, sabay nangyayari. Oxidation, when you say oxidation, Leora. Okay. Oxidation means it loses electron. The process of losing an electron is called oxidation. And the one or the element or the compound that loses an electron is called reducing agent. Okay? The other process will be reduction reaction, or what we call GEROA. GEROA is where a substance gains an electron, and the process of gaining an electron is called reduction. And that element or compound that gains an electron or undergoes reduction is called oxidizing agent. Okay, tandaan ha. Leora, lose electron, oxidation, reducing agent. GEROA, gain electron, reduction, oxidizing agent. But you always have to remember that in a redox reaction, only one will undergo oxidation and only one will undergo reduction. And your reducing agent, Ra, and oxidizing agent, OA, so reducing agent and oxidizing agent are always found sa reactants. Tandaan yan ha. And also, one oxidation, one reduction happens in a redox reaction. Okay? So, before we could identify who is the oxidizing agent, who is the reducing agent, we need to understand oxidation number. So, we will have to check if the oxidation from your reactant increases in your product or it decreases in your product. So, that's how we identify which are the OA and the RA. But how do we know this chart? There are different rules in oxidation number. Number one is that all single elements, lahat ng element na nakikita niyo sa periodic table that is single in a reaction is considered as a zero if it doesn't have a charge. Okay? For example, nakita nyo, na sulfur lang, wala siyang charge. Therefore, it is considered as zero. Zinc. plus copper sulfate. Okay? Tapos zinc sulfate plus copper. Like for example, here, sa reaction nito, you saw that zinc, a single element. Again, rule number 1, single element. Ang nakita mo wala siyang charge, therefore, this is already considered as 0. Okay? Copper, single element, therefore, 0. Okay? Another one, in rule number 1 is single element is always equal to 0 if no charge. Okay? Again, if no charge. Ano pa? All of your diatomic molecule. Sino yun? Have no fear on ice cold beer. Hydrogen gas, nitrogen gas, fluorine gas, oxygen gas, iodine gas, chlorine gas, and bromine gas are all equal to 0. Okay? Kapag nakita niyo sila na alone, ito mga diatomic molecule, they are considered as 0. H2 plus O2 yielding to H2O. Okay. As you can see, those are diatomic molecule na alone lang, mag-isa. So, therefore, automatic, its oxidation number is 0. Okay? Next. For monoatomic ion, is equals to its ion charge. Okay, so if ang single element mo ay may charge, therefore, that is the charge. Okay, for example, ito example ng number 2 ha, Ne positive plus Cl negative equals NaCl. So as you can see, sodium here is a single element. However, its oxidation is not 0 because it has an indicated oxidation number or charge, which is positive 1. So, Cl is also a single element. It is not 0 kasi it has an indicated charge. So, negative 1 ang charge niya. Therefore, its oxidation number is negative 1. Okay, tatanan ha. If a single element has a charge, that will be its oxidation number. If a single element doesn't have a charge, its oxidation number is 0. Aside from that, all of your diatomic molecule, all of your H2N2F2O2I2Cl2Br2 are always 0. Okay? Next, the sum of oxidation number values of the atoms in the molecular formula unit of a compound should always be equal to 0 unless if it has a charge. Kunwari, si H2O, wala ka namang nakikitang charge. Therefore, the whole oxidation number ng water ay 0. Unlike kapag sulfate, SO42 negative, it has a charge, therefore the oxidation number of the whole SO4 is negative 2. Ano pa? Ammonia, NH4 positive. It has a charge, which is positive 1. So the whole oxidation number of NH4 is positive 1. Okay? Next. Ano pang tatandaan? Group number 1 is always positive 1. Group number 2 sa periodic table is always positive 2. Hydrogen is always positive 1 if it is combined with non-metal. Okay? Kagaya ng HCl. Diba? H, tapos ang na-combine sa kanya non-metal. So therefore, this is positive 1, not negative 1. Hydrogen can only be negative 1 if its partner is a metal or a boron. Tatandaan. Fluorine is always negative 1. Oxygen is negative 2 in all compounds except fluorine. Okay, for example, SO4, 2 negative. So, as you can see, ang kapartner niya ay hindi fluorine at hindi siya peroxide. So, therefore, oxygen is always negative 2. Okay? When you see peroxide, it is the H2O2. Kapag ganyan yung formula na nakita ninyo, or yung compound na nakita, automatic that oxygen is negative 1. Okay? Then the rest, it is negative 2. Next. All of your group numbers 7A in periodic table are negative 1. Okay, I will try first number 1. Second, number 3. Okay? So, NH3 muna tayo. NH3. Si ammonia. As you can see, this one is a compound that doesn't have a charge. Automatically, it is actually 0. Okay? Next. Hydrogen. May hydrogen siya, which is in the rules. Ang kapartner na nitrogen ay non-metal, which is hydrogen should be positive 1. So, dito ay positive 1. So, therefore, however, nitrogen is not on the rule. It is group number 5. So, we have to compute for its oxidation number. How? So, oxidation number ni hydrogen ay 1 times ilan yung atoms? 3. Ilan daw yung total? 0. Plus, nitrogen, we don't know the oxidation number, X. Then, ilan yung atoms ng nitrogen? Isa lang naman, therefore, 1X or X lang. So, therefore, X plus times to 3 equals 0. So, what will be the X? Transpose sa kabila. When you transpose a positive to the other side, it becomes a negative. So, X is equal to negative 3. So, the oxidation number of nitrogen is negative 3. So, let's try if it will be equal to 0. So, negative 3, ilan yung atom? 1 plus 1 na oxidation ni hydrogen times 3 equals 0. Kaya, negative 3 plus 3, it is equals to 0. So, therefore, we have correct oxidation number that nitrogen is negative 3 and hydrogen is positive 1. Okay? I'll try the other one. The other one is the Cr2O7, 2 negative. Okay, now let's go Cr2O7, 2 negative, or the dichromate. So, Cr2O7, negative 2. Okay? Since it has a charge, that will be the oxidation number of the whole compound, which be negative 2. So, let's check if chromium is on the list. It's not on the list. It's not group number 1A. Hindi rin siya group 2A. Hindi rin siya group 7A. So, therefore, it will be calculated. So, oxygen is on the list, which is, it is not a peroxide. Hindi siya H2O2. So, therefore, its oxidation number is negative 2. So, basically, oxygen is negative 2. Isulat na kagad. Oxygen is negative 2. But we all have to calculate your chromium, or Cr. So, write first the oxidation ng oxygen, which is negative 2. Then, you have to multiply the atom, which is 7, plus, let Cr as X. However, it has a atom. Unlike yung kanina, it doesn't have an atom. So, therefore, it is just X. However, this one, it has an atom, which is 2. So, it will be written as 2X. Now, we calculate the X, which is Cr. So, 2X plus, multiply, negative 14 equals negative 2. Then, of course, you have to combine like terms. So, 2x equals, ililipat si negative 14 dito, since negative siya, when you transpose, it becomes positive, or the opposite charge. So, therefore, negative 2 plus 14. Then, 2x equals 12. Kasi negative 2 plus 14 is 12. Now, to get the x value, you have to divide both sides by 2. So, therefore, x is equals to 6. So, therefore, chromium is 6. So, Cr is equals to positive 6. let's actually check if we actually combine the number of the oxidation numbers will be equals to 0. Okay, let's try. Okay, so CR is actually positive 6. Then it has atom of 2 plus oxygen is negative 2 times atom of 7. What will be the final oxidation of the whole compound? So 6 times 2 is 12 plus negative 2 times 7 is negative 14. So therefore, 12 plus negative 14 is negative 2. So therefore, tama tayo that the oxidation number, whole oxidation number of dichromate is negative 2 if the oxidation number of chromium is positive 6 and oxygen is negative 2. Okay? Okay, now this number 2, number 4, number 5, you have to do this as practice exercise at home. Okay? So, again, oxidation number pa lang yun. Wala pa siyang redox reactions. In redox reactions, we have to identify what happens to the oxidation number from your reactants to product if it increases or if it decreases. Okay, we have a term Leora, losing electron, oxidation, reducing agent. So what happens during oxidation? There is an increase of oxidation number from reactant to product. When you say reduction or gaining of electron, there is a decrease of oxidation number from the reactant to the product. Ito na baliktad. When you lose an electron or oxidation, you increase the oxidation number. When you gain an electron, you decrease the oxidation number. Okay, let's try this kung sino yung mag-undergo ng reduction. As you can see here, zinc is a single element. Zinc lang siya, single element that doesn't have a charge. So therefore, this is 0. Okay? Your hydrogen is actually positive 1. So ang charge niya ay positive 1. Zinc has a charge. So its oxidation number is positive 2. H2. Diatomic yan. Diba? Kasama siya sa have no fear or nice cold beer. So therefore, siya ay 0 also. So let's check if it increases or decreases. So zinc 2, zinc 0, siya ay naging zinc 2 positive. The other one, 2H positive, siya ay naging H0, H20. Okay? So as you can see, zinc, so number line natin, 0, 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. If it is an increasing value, so therefore this is the Leora oxidation process. If it is a decreasing value, kunwari, si 1 naging negative 3, si negative 1 naging negative 2. So therefore, this is a gaining of electron or what you call reduction process. Okay? So as you can see, your 0 becomes positive 2. So therefore, this is what you call losing electron. The process is oxidation. And the one that loses the electron is called reducing agent. Pero which one? Is it the zinc 0 or the zinc 2 positive? Diba? I've said kanina, your reducing agent and oxidizing agent should always be found on the reactant. Okay? It's always found in the reactant. So, reactant mo dyan is the zinc 0. So, that is your reducing agent. Okay? As you can see, tama siya. Zinc increased from 0 to 2, hence it is oxidized. Big sabihin, it undergoes oxidation process or losing of an electron. Okay? And zinc 0, si zinc 0 ang tinatawag natin reducing agent. Okay? Next. How about yung isa? 2 2 hydrogen positive, naging 0. Pababa yung value, positive 1, naging 0 siya. So, therefore, that process is reducing, okay, or reduction. So, you are gaining an electron. This process called reduction, and the one that is undergoing reduction or gaining of electron is called oxidizing agent. Tandaan, between H positive and H hydrogen gas 0, si H positive na sa reactant. So, therefore, siya ang oxidizing agent. Tama ulit tayo. Hydrogen decrease from positive 1 to 0, hence it is reduced. When you say reduce, reduction, gaining of electron, reduction, and your hydrogen is one called oxidizing agent. Okay, I'll try one, then the rest kayo na. So again, number 3, the try ko. As you can see here, nickel has a charge, so this is your oxidation. Cr is a single element, 0. Nickel is actually 0. Chromium is positive 2. So yung mga magkakamukha, nickel to nickel, chromium to chromium. So as you can see, Ni2 positive becomes Ni0. Cr0 becomes Cr2 positive. Gawa ulit tayo ng number line. 0, 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Mataas ang value, Leora. Decreasing value, that is Jeroa. Okay, so you can see positive 2 decreases to 0. So therefore, that is called gaining of an electron, reduction, oxidizing agent. So ano ang process ng nickel to nickel reduction? It gains an electron, and your oxidizing agent, nakikita lang sa reactant, which is this one. So this is your oxidizing agent. Okay. Next, let's try the other one. 0 to 2. 0, pataas ang value niya. So, Leora. So, that is oxidation process. So, this is oxidation. As you can see, your reducing agent will be found in your reactant, which is the Zr0. So, this is your reducing agent. Okay? Then, 1 and 2, itatry niya siya. Okay? Okay, so how do we balance a redox reactions? First, you have to make a half reaction first. So, we saw here that the zinc in your reactants become zinc 2 positive. That's your first reaction. Your second half reaction, your hydrogen ion becomes a molecular hydrogen or the hydrogen gas in your product. So this is your second reaction. Now what we're going to do is to give charges. So for the zinc and the zinc 2 plus, we all know that if it is an element, one of the rule here is it is always 0. So dahil element lang naman si zinc here, ang charge ng zinc natin dito is 0. While as here sa hydrogen natin, hydrogen plus becomes a molecular hydrogen, which is a hydrogen gas, H2. And we all know H2 have no fear on ice, cold fear. Kapag yan ang nakita nyo, molecular or the diatomic molecules, kagaya ng hydrogen gas, nitrogen gas, F2 gas, O2 gas, iodine gas, chlorine gas, and Br2 gas, the oxidation number is always equals to 0. Okay, so we all know that zinc 0 becomes zinc 2 plus, pataas yung value. So, 0 naging 2 siya. So, pataas ang value. We all know that if it is increasing in oxidation number from reactant to product, it is what we call Leora. So, it loses electron. Your zinc loses an electron. reaction, your process is actually oxidation, and your reactant, which is the zinc zero, is called the reducing agent. However, yung kabaliktaran, if it is lowered value, so if the oxidation number from reactant becomes less in the product, pababa yung value, positive 1 naging 0, so pababa ang value, this is a Geroa. Meaning, this is a gaining of electron. Your hydrogen ion gains electron. The process of gaining an electron is reduction. And your reactant, which is H plus, is called oxidizing agent. Okay, so we all know here that your zinc increased from 0 to 2, then it is oxidized. Oxidation and processes. Zinc is what you call the reducing agent. Your hydrogen decreased from 1 to 0, therefore it is reduced or the process is reduction. However, the hydrogen ion is what we call the oxidizing agent. Okay, so if it is a Leoria or oxidation, you should add the number of electrons loose in the product. Okay, so this since 0 to 2, so you have 2 electrons loose. So that's why you should put the 2 electrons in the product. For this one, how do we balance here? Is that this has 2 atoms of hydrogen. That's why you have to make sure that this is also 2. As you can see, this is 1, this is 2. That's why you put 2 here. Since 2 na yan, 2 times 1 equals 2. This is still 0 as a whole. So that's why ang electrons natin is total of 2 electrons gain. Then kapag Jarawa, you have to put 2 electrons in the reactants. That's why you put here ang 2 electrons. So here you're going to write. However, before you write, you have to make sure na yung arrows ay magkatapat. Okay? For example, kunwari, zinc 2 plus 0 plus 2 electrons. Itong arrow, magkatapat dapat. Then, H2. Tapos ito, nakausli. 2 electrons plus 2 hydrogen. That's why ang itsura niya ay paganito. Next, what you're going to do is subtract the number of electrons. 2 minus 2, 0. Kaya tanggal na yan automatic. Then, you remove same molecules. So, zinc doesn't have similar substance dito. That's why you copy zinc 0. Then you copy another 2 hydrogen. Wala siyang similar, so wala makakancel. Same din dito, 2H2. Copy lang din. Then, same lang dito, zinc. Copy lang din. Okay, that's why your balance reaction now ay eto po siya. Okay.